It's time to welcome the Wine Ladies with Georgia and Suzanne. An entertaining hour topped up with great ideas about wine, where to dine, anything and everything to do with the vine. Great conversation, lots of laughter, guests from all walks of life, food and wine, music, art, sports, and much more, all on The Wine Ladies.
Hi everybody, it's us, the Wine Ladies.
I'm Georgia.
And I'm Suzanne, and here we are on Las Vegas Boulevard in the city that never sleeps, Las Vegas.
The eve before New Year's Eve, we are here for a tremendous fundraiser at the Vintners Grill. And we are here for Child's Focus, Camp to Belong, to raise funds to bring children that are separated in foster care together for an all-important week to make memories as siblings like we have, Suzanne.
All for the foster kids. We're going to raise $100,000 for these kids tonight. So let's get inside and see what's going to happen.
All right, let's go. Cheers, Suzanne.
We are so thrilled to be here in Las Vegas, aren't we, Georgia?
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. You know, I couldn't believe it. We were listening to the news yesterday and they said 300,000 people come to Las Vegas for New Year's Eve. That is quite something. We are absolutely thrilled to be here, and I have to say, on top of that, for an unbelievable cause. So it's going to be a great night.
You know what? I wasn't actually sure if I was going to really be able to make it here as of 2 days ago. Have a look.
That was definitely a distinct possibility. I have to say that it just wouldn't have been the same with just one wine lady, you know? I mean, my sister here would have been MIA, missing in action. That is not going to work, honestly.
All right, so anyhow.
What happened anyway?
Well, what happened was after Boxing Day, on Boxing Day, we decided to go for a hike. We were hiking in Utah in the summer, and we love hiking. And, you know, post-Christmas dinner, we went hiking, and I fell and broke my ankle. So, but thank you, Georgia. She's a fabulous sister. She was there to support me. She brought me out of the woods, and you were a strong shoulder to lean on. You are an awesome sister.
Well, thank you. And then you made me make you dinner and get your wine and help you pack. And when you sewed on my button, I said, that's where I draw the line. But you know what, actually, everybody? I didn't mind. Because Suzanne is my sister. And we have a connection. And we have memories. And we have come to rely on one another and support one another. And isn't that what tonight is all about, everybody?
All right. So we're here to raise funds to allow other siblings that have been separated in foster care to come together for 6 precious days. Thank you, Mark. To create a bond, to reconnect and build a foundation and create memories. And this will all be made possible at Camp to Belong here in Nevada.
Thanks to the dedication and the fundraising efforts of your host, Mark Curry, and Club Curry, and also, of course, of Child Focus. Thanks to you, and along with a bunch of other people as well, we're able to make this evening happen tonight. I also want to mention to everyone that you may see that there's a video camera that's going to be circulating throughout the room throughout the evening. They're going to be filming our television show that films in Toronto, one sip at a time. It's a wine and lifestyle show, and our motto in life is everything somehow comes back to the vine. Live life large and with integrity. We interview celebrities and artists and stars, of which we have many here tonight. So please smile for the camera. The camera loves that.
All right, so to the program of the night. First of all, we're going to be enjoying some fabulous food and some wonderful wine. And sitting at our table, we've got Dawn Garcia of Taste of Dawn. Get ready to be dazzled, Dawn. All right, and we will be enjoying the creations of Executive Chef Matthew Silverman and his culinary team of the highly acclaimed Vintners Grill right here in Las Vegas. All of these foods are going to be paired to perfection by Mark Curry, who we understand is a newly accredited sommelier. So if you like the wine and food combo, it's Mark Curry that did the magic here this evening.
All right, we're also going to hear some very...
Did you know that, Mark?
We're know and we will be inspired by what we can do for 2012 to make it a brighter future for the children, which of course are our future.
All right, we've got some fantastic music and entertainment planned this evening. We've all already heard from Corrine Olsen and Ray Brandt. Thank you very much. You know, these guys, they have actually played at Carnegie Hall and even with Pavarotti. Amazing.
Very impressive.
But what they are very well known for is their hot strings with the Avery Watts live performances. Woo-hoo. Okay, they'll be back at 8 o'clock, but we've also got some other fabulous entertainment this evening as well. Samande Jackson, who has an incredible story to tell you, as well as the stunning local vocalist and great humanitarian, Latoya Holman. She's beautiful. We already met her as well. Remember her.
Now, as this is a fundraiser, everyone, we've got lots of ways for you to spend your money as well.
You're always talking about money.
Well, somebody has to talk about money. You know what? Never mind the blackjack table. Never mind the craps tables. Tonight, it's a sure bet. We've got a silent auction table, unequal out there, unbelievable things. We've got some artwork. We've got a superstar visionary artist, Michael Jackson, the Boot Stein, who himself is also a philanthropist. Unbelievable.
Yeah, he does a kind of art called crypto-realism.
Yes, realism. What does that mean?
Yeah. Okay, and his works are worth between $25,000 and $100,000. So you really got to open up your wallets for that one.
All right. Also the work of LA legendary artist Charlie White III, the man behind the movie posters of Star Wars. Also, made the original logo for Playboy, for Harley Davidson. Unbelievable. And also what? The Rocky Horror Picture Show. Did I mention that? So everybody, I want everybody to see what I'm doing here. It's really important. Can you guys hear me? This is key to the night. See what I'm doing? What am I doing? I'm taking money out of my wallet. So I want to see a lot of this tonight, everybody, okay? There you go.
So at the Vintner Grill Strip here in Las Vegas, oh my God, this is so exciting. We're here for the Camp to Belong fundraiser, and we are here with the man who has the vision to make this happen. It's unbelievable. Mark Curry here. He's the founder of Club Curry, this incredible organization that has put this event together tonight to raise funds for children that have been separated because of having to go into foster homes, and Camp to Belong brings them together for 6 days to help them, give them some support, and Mark is going to tell us more about it. Mark, great to meet you. What an honor.
Nice meeting you. Thank you so much for your support and being here. Appreciate it.
It's our pleasure. So tell us a little bit about why you started Club Curry and the Club to Belong, Camp to Belong.
Well, so I had a good friend of mine and my partners who had spent time volunteering at the camp. And the camp was a week-long camp where they reunited siblings, and I thought, wow, that's I have a really strong feeling about you. I've been fortunate and successful in my business life that you have to give something back. So you can't always just take, you have to give back. And so when she started talking to us about this story, it was pretty amazing to me that nobody would ever think about foster children and the fact that they would be separated nonetheless from their siblings. And I thought, I have a really good relationship with my brother now. And we all go through those things. But I thought, wow, if I knew I had a brother and that I wasn't connected with, that'd be really hard not to be able to be connected with them, as I go through life now. And so when I heard that they were doing the week-long camp, it was pretty amazing, the program that gets put together, and Lynn and all the people at Child Focus and what they do. And I'm originally from the Midwest, so new to Nevada. For if you've been here for 5 years, you're a lifer for the most part. So
right.
for a few
different
years,
measurements here, I think.
That's right. So I thought it was very important to be able to give back, and I thought what a great opportunity to a group of people in the world that probably largely get ignored, which are siblings in foster care.
Now I have a question for Mark. The plan is to
I know
raise.
she just grabbed that microphone.
I did.
and yanked it right
Hey,
out.
we're sisters. I tell you, we're allowed to do that. I want to know, with the $100,000 that are scheduled to be raised this evening and tomorrow night and for the next couple of months for June, what is this money going to be used for?
So what the money ends up going for is for a week-long camp where they reunite the siblings that are separated. And last year, I believe it was close to 100 that they helped bring together and unite that way. If we raise 100, last year we raised $45,000. If we raise $100,000 this year, like is our goal, it will actually fund the entire camp. So not only do they have, last year they were able to do things they didn't do before, which they had a birthday gift exchange. So you can imagine giving a sibling that you'd never given a gift to before, that type of thing. So not only will they be able to do that, it will fund the entire camp with the facilities and all the other things that they do. So it'll be pretty significant.
Now, we're going to switch gears here just a little bit. We've got one of our wine ladies' glasses here for you. We're going to make you an honorary wine lady because we... Because we understand you're a newly accredited sommelier.
Well, kind of, not really, but maybe a little bit.
So tell us about your love of wine.
The days of white Zinfandel have been largely overplayed. So I probably started about, I would say, 12 years ago. So I started drinking the standards, right?
Yeah.
The Merlot, right? I'll have a Merlot. And I've since come to, now I am stuck in a Pinot Noir, Russian River Valley, Carneros.
Not a bad place to be stuck.
And I'm so
Let me join you there.
I'm so stuck there that I can't get out of it. So I used to have when The Sopranos were on HBO.
Love that show.
I know. And they had that Deadwood, which was the show they had afterward. I would have what I would consider, I call it a wine and whiskey night.
Okay.
So we drink red wine while we were watching Sopranos, and then we drink whiskey while we were watching Deadwood.
Perfect.
So after that, I got out of the Pinot Noir, or I got into the Pinot Noir, out of the Cabernet, real heavy. So
Right.
that's it. I'm an absolute novice, really, when it comes down to wine. But it, generally speaking, you can enjoy it in any event. And people really seem to connect, like, I'll have a glass of red or I'll have a glass of white.
Well, good choice tonight with the Ravenswood. We actually met Joel Peterson not too long ago in Toronto. Remember that, Georgia?
Absolutely. And actually, the winemaker, Joel, he kind of fits in a little bit with, with the theme here this evening in the sense that his motto with his wines is no wimpy wines. And, embrace the bold and avoid the dull kind of thing. So he's sort of one of the guys that is like willing to go out on a limb, to be different from everybody else and sort of enter into new frontiers. So good to Joel, and that was a great choice. That Zinfandel rocked tonight.
It's awesome.
Where's your glass?
Oh my gosh. The funny thing is they said you can't drink out of it. You can just give me the glass. I'll slam it.
All right, well, thank you so much, Mark, and congratulations again on this stupendous, stupendous evening and the incredible charity that you've developed here.
Thank you guys very much for your support. We really appreciate it.
Our
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Thanks, everybody.
So I thought maybe I could share something a little bit on a personal note. This charity actually is very close to my heart because my husband is one of 5 siblings, and all of them were placed in foster homes, and in 7 or 8 foster homes, and they were separated when the youngest was only 2 years old. Knowing that we were going to be here tonight, we got together over the holidays, as we always do now, and we decided to put the question to them. You guys were separated all these years, and here you are together. Every holiday we all get together. And we said, what is it that if you had the opportunity, or why is it that you think that you were able to come together after all those years of being separated in all these different homes? And they said that they had the opportunity to come together once a year. It was at Christmas time. And just that one time of being able to come together, they felt that they had enough time to build a bond, to feel that they had the support, that they belonged to somebody, that they were part of something bigger, and that there were people that they could rely on and they could come to year after year. So when we told them about Camp to Belong, they thought, wow, that is so powerful. And the youngest one actually said that was interesting, sort of twist. He said, you know what really bothers me, Georgia, is the siblings out there that take each other for granted. That you see them fight, yeah, they grew up together, but they don't get it. They don't get the value of siblings, of what we can give to each other and what we do. So I just wanted to share that because this is such a profound charity that really strikes me on a real personal level.
Okay, so we're here with Fauna Hodel, for the editor of Celebrity Society magazine. She is an author and a philanthropist, and she has an incredible story. Fauna, thanks for joining us. What makes it important for you to be here tonight?
Well, first of all, our editor, Mimi Maccabee, sent me to make sure that I cover what's going on with Mark Curry and all the good works that he's doing, because our 41-year-old magazine is all about philanthropy. We're out of Beverly Hills, but we cover stories all over this planet of powerful people who are out there making a difference and giving back.
And have you done anything with Club Curry before, or is this your first venture?
This is my first venture. Lisa Miller introduced me to Club Curry, and I just said, count me in, whatever I can do. Absolutely. I also have a show, Fauna's Charity Sizzle Report, on the amazing women of power online. And I share what's going on with celebrities and charity and what they're doing as well.
Now, I want to ask you a little bit, Fauna, if you could tell us a little bit about your story.
I know, my story. The reason why I love being involved with philanthropy and making a difference, I was given away at birth 60 years ago under the premise that I was part white and part black. I was given to a black family in Reno, Nevada, a black maid and a black shoeshine man. Well, that time in America, 60 years ago we're talking, It was intense. I was a little girl who was never darkening, not fitting in. And later I would write a book, One Day She'll Darken, The Mysterious Beginnings of Fauna Hodel.
And I understand you're also in the middle of making a movie?
I actually produced a film with Alfre Woodard, Charles Dutton, Jill Clayburgh, Tess Harper, all the way back in '90, and we had to change all the names to protect the guilty.
Oh, no.
Because my real family is very rich, very powerful, and they did not want my story out. So all these years later, I can finally tell the story. And with millions of dollars in that first film that was stopped, my goal is to do a documentary feature about all of that, whatever happened to Pretty Addie's baby, and then do a brand new film based on the story I always wanted to tell.
What do you think if you had to pick something, Fauna, that gave you the fortitude to get through what you've gotten through? Where did that strength come from?
A little girl sitting at my grandmother's funeral, my black grandmother. And I say black and white just so you get a sense of that time in America. But sitting there at her funeral, she started talking to me. And she told me she wasn't away and that she would always protect me and that God had a mission for me. And when I was only 4, an incident happened where one of my cousins, my black cousin, was going to cut my throat because I was white. And she ran out and, she shooed him away and she picked me up in her arms and she goes, "Baby, don't you ever forget that God and God's angels will always be with you." Well, I want to tell you, you beautiful 2 ladies, that I have never forgotten that. And angels watch and protect me, and when I'm scared, I go within and call on angels, because Big Mama taught me that when I was a little girl, and that's what keeps me keeping on.
We have an inspiring story. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you so
deserve
much.
a big hug, too.
You too. You're
Group hug.
You're beautiful.
Yeah, group hug.
You too. Your spirits are so beautiful.
No, thank you. Thank you for sharing.
When people are saying things to you that you ain't supposed to be hearing, then you better stand up for yourself. You got courage. Hit it with the no, I will never back down. Hands in the air, you hear the sound. You're stronger than you think. Stand up to these clouds. As you conquer to fear, who's the next to go down? I will never surrender.
I would like to bring to the front of the room Lynn. And Lynn has quite the story, and so I'm going to let her share what she has. She's the founder of Camp to Belong International, and that's a closely affiliated program for Child Focus. So she has a few words that she wanted to share.
Thank you. So the theme of this evening is Future Forward, and how appropriate for youth in foster care who look forward to their futures, particularly being out of foster care. You know, it's the holiday season, and I would venture to guess that a lot of you celebrate the holidays or will celebrate the rest of the holidays with your family. So just by raise of hand, how many of you have a brother or sister? Okay, and how many of you as parents have more than one child? And there may be a few of you who may not fall into one or both categories, and you have a best friend who's like a brother or sister. So you all know that they fight, they argue, they tease. Under my own roof, my kids wish the other didn't exist on any given day. But the reality is our brothers and their sisters are our best friends in life. We look out for each other, we look up to each other, and the sibling relationship is truly the longest relationship in life, most oftentimes. In Clark County alone, there's 3,200 youth in foster care. On any given day, 25% are separated, not with their brother and sister. And if you look at the mass, 75% of all youth in foster care are separated from at least one sibling when placed in care. Well, thank goodness for Child Focus, an organization that's been in this community for over 12 years, all about sibling preservation, all about making sure there is normalcy in the lives of brothers and sisters who are in foster care. In fact, even during the holidays, their gift of giving had 90 brothers and sisters come together to celebrate the holidays, which they wouldn't have the opportunity to. They've had fishing events. They've had sharing and discovery events. And several years ago, Child Focus teamed with an organization I founded, Camp to Belong, to give the gift of camp. 5 nights and 6 days of quality time together. Unconditional love, support with sincerity. Judgment, none. Because they are kids among other kids who are in the same situation as they are. Summer camp, and because of your generosity over this past year in 2011, 94 brothers and sisters and 37 counselors, volunteers, came together. And they experienced campfires, doing their wishes under the stars. They had a birthday party, because brothers and sisters don't get to celebrate their birthdays together, so they got to shop at a Mott store, pick out gifts for each other, and sing happy birthday, and blow out each other's candles. They got to learn about life in a life seminar. What is it to be able to go to college, to be in the military, to give community service? They made sibling pillows for each other so that they can go home to their respective home and to have something to lay their head on. All kinds of programs, because the truth is, and I know this because I grew up in foster care from 8 months old till 21, that one day we're going to be out of foster care. And the reality is, I don't have any childhood memories with my older sister. But our kids, because of Child Focus, teaming together with Camp to Belong, will. Tonight we are very privileged to have one of our sibling groups with us. And it's really important that you get to know these wonderful kids. Kalijah, Andrea, Dier, Christian, Kayla, and Akeem. Because of your generosity over the past couple of years, they have experienced especially programs of Child Focus. And those programs has made their family relationship grow. Them coming to camp this past year was so compelling, watching them take care of each other, learn about each other. In fact, Akeem, who's the oldest, said, I had fun at camp. Being, as this was my first time, You see, because he was what we call a PA, and he really liked helping. He really loved it. And he said, I'll definitely be coming back next year, thanks to Camp to Belong. The reality of that is this past year in June, Akeem graduated high school, and his siblings were there cheering as he walked across the stage to get his diploma. Now, the crazy thing about foster care is when you turn 18, oftentimes there's not resources to support, to teach you, to help you into the future. And because of all of your generosity, Akeem not only was able to get support through Child Focus, but was able to learn how to fill out college applications, and is now going to the University of Nevada. Yay.
Whenever I'm alone with you, you make me feel like I am home again.
All right, well, this evening has been unbelievable so far. We've met incredible people, and this morning we had the opportunity to meet Brian Hutchinson from Hutch Foundation, and he shared a story with us that is so incredible. We want to hear firsthand from you. Tell our audience your story.
Okay, well, basically, June 12th, 2010, I was playing in a highly competitive softball game. I've enjoyed sports my entire life. It's been my biggest passion. Was captain of 2 sports teams in high school, played semi-pro baseball, got offered to play professionally in Europe. I really have always enjoyed it since the time I was 4. I was playing shortstop this day in a tournament, and a foul ball was hit, and I ran full speed backwards to try and get it. My left fielder was running full speed in to try and get it. I lunged for it, I caught it, but collided with him because he didn't see me. And it flung me backwards, and sadly on this day there was a cement curb in the field. The back of my head smashed open on the edge of it. I suffered multiple skull fractures, traumatic brain injury, ear fracture, jaw fracture, wrist fracture, rib fracture, liquid in lungs, optical 6 nerve paralyzed. The list is long. First thing I can remember is after that I got airlifted to the hospitals. They did 2 brain surgeries. They kept me there for a couple weeks. I went to 2 different hospitals. I don't remember any of that time. First thing I can remember is waking up at my grandparents' house, and I couldn't do anything. Couldn't walk correctly, couldn't talk correctly, and it was in the worst pain you can imagine.
Now, I understand you also you got to a point where I think you mentioned this morning you didn't even want to live. You said, like, you reached that level of despair, but then you regained hope again. Like, how did that happen? What did it take? And your story from there is also incredible.
Well, it started. I went downhill from the time that first memory till. Time's iffy, but it's about a month or so I just sat there and suffered. And then that made me in turn kind of want to accept that I was dying. I didn't want to live anymore. It was that bad. And I had no hope and didn't know why I was this way, didn't know how everything could not work and everything could be so bad. Luckily for me, when I hit that rock bottom, it was kind of a point where instead of just deciding to end things, which I thought they already were, I tried to do something. I actually got up, tried to just go take a shower, tried to go brush my teeth, tried to go feed myself. And I failed, but in doing that, I felt better. I felt better than just sitting there and suffering. And that started the process to the point where I regained hope. It didn't start right away, but I felt like once I started to figure out a plan and started to figure out my own recovery, the next 8 months, by myself, I figured out how to get myself from the point of not being able to do anything till at least having my base functions back. And it was a lot of work, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. Right now, I still deal with a lot, but I'm a lone statistic when it comes to my list of injuries and turning out the way I have.
So the Hutch Foundation, tell us a little bit about that.
Well, basically, when I got to the point of kind of the state I'm in now, which is able to present myself pretty normal, I was lost. My old goals were to go play college baseball, to go back to school, to get a degree and do some stuff, and I can't do any of that anymore. My passion for sports is done because it's gone. I can never play anything. And I didn't know what to do, so I started helping other charities. I started trying to give back because I found that I was so able to click so easily with traumatic brain injury patients. They would look at me, see where I was at, and then automatically look up to me. They would automatically want that, and then I was able to relate to what they were going through, and the combination was just easy. I mean, I was able to do stuff that professionals that have been doing this 25 years couldn't do. It made me feel amazing. I mean, the passion I have for this it's indescribable. So in turn, I attended a charity event held by the Los Angeles Kings and Luc Robitaille's foundation. And because it was deep, like, it was close to my heart because I care about sports and I care about, like, I wanted to be a professional athlete and do that stuff. All these people, once they heard my story, like halfway through the event, just jumped on board. And these are all professionals. These are all high-end business people. And to know that I could help the patients and then I could also get these people to jump on board who are all so successful and so happy with where they're at, I left there that day saying I wanted to do the same thing they were doing. And it started this, and I'm fortunate that I have some of my best friends in life that have dedicated their entire life to my foundation. They've jumped on board full speed, and I have some great people that I've met throughout the charities, and everyone's I'm appreciative of every second of it. I mean, it's awesome.
Well, I think we're going to hear lots of great things from you, and we look forward to looking for you in the future.
Thank you so much.
Very nice to be here right after Hutch's talk. Very inspiring. And what I want to do is very briefly talk about visions of the future that are in fact themselves inspiring, because they get people excited about the future. They get people excited about creating the future. And we're all in charge of creating our own futures. We're going to spend the rest of our lives in the future, so why not make the future a wonderful place? And we want to create a future vision where young people, our children over here, get excited about studying math and science and engineering, become our space architects, our astronauts, our futurists. So I'm going to see when we get some of our, not sure when our pictures are coming up, but in your program, second from the last pages are some images I've helped create of visions of the future in outer space, which is my specialty. Ideas of orbital cruise ships, ideas of super yachts in space, ideas of racing around the entire world. Or ideas of sports in space, ideas of humanity moving outward is what we're all about in our Space Tourism Society. And we believe by going outward, we have the opportunity to look backward and see where we came from our beautiful planet, planet Earth, our spaceship Earth. And if you really think about it, we're actually all astronauts right now on a very, very large spaceship. So let's just think about that. We're in outer space right now on a very large spaceship. So I guess these images are going to come up. But the images almost don't matter so much as the idea is that people around the world, this is not just the United States, but it's around the world, are imagining a future where more and more people go off-world, go into orbit, go to the moon, eventually colonize Mars, and humanity moves outward, moves forward as humanity, not just the United States, not just Russia. We as a species, we as humanity move out forward together. And moving forward together is what I think will create more peace, more harmony, and will be more kind to our planet. So this is open to everybody to be involved with. We need new ideas, new talents, new voices. It's a wonderful design experience to be involved in all this. I call it a design frontier. And as they said earlier, in the earlier years, 25, 30 years ago, people laughed at a lot of these ideas. They don't laugh at these ideas today. And I can tell you there are several multi-billionaires directly involved in the space enterprise, space tourism industry right now, spending hundreds of millions of dollars developing these companies, developing private launch systems to orbit, developing private technologies, forming corporations, conglomerates, really. So you're going to see over the next dozen years more and more people going to space, more and more people doing stuff. If you look back now, these images are up now. The great movie 2001, 1968 inspired me to be a designer. Look at this right here. 40 years ago, an iPod.
You can imagine spending time at a space resort or a resort on the moon and actually flying. This is my concept and design for an orbital super yacht. Her name is Destiny. It's a very beautiful spaceship. This is a real spaceship design. In Destiny, there's a hot tub, what we call a hot sphere, because fluids form a sphere in zero gravity. Imagine weddings in outer space. More importantly, imagine contemplating and looking at our beautiful planet Earth. And that's what I think is the magic of all this. And then again, racing on the moon. Why not have these dramatic, wonderful, inspiring concepts of the future? And why not devote your life to making these things happen? Because as we rise those concepts, we all rise together. So basically, I want to say thank you for allowing me to talk with you briefly. And Club Curry is a wonderful concept. I actually come myself from a very, very modest personal background. Never got to go to camp or any of those kind of things. But I can say that ideas and concepts and being inspired by movies like 2001 can uplift anybody. From my background, you know, I get to do pretty amazing things. Anyway, thank you very much, and it's a great event. Thank you for being here.
John, before you go, I want to ask you, what do you think of a vineyard on the moon?
Oh, great. Space wine would be very good. They're actually developing real space beer right now. It's really happening.
What about wine?
Wine is great. Makes people feel more comfortable. Basically, the drink will be bigger because of lower gravity. And it'll be just fantastic.
We had the idea maybe the wine name's lunatic lunar wine. How does that sound?
Okay.
How does that work for everybody out there? What do you think? Yeah. I think they discovered 2 new planets. Didn't they just recently that has water or something like that?
Actually, more than 2.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. You'll be hearing about early next year, which is a few days, and the next years to come. It's just magical and wonderful. We're really moving out, you know. That's great.
Well, thank you so much. It was so inspiring. We all do have indeed a fantastic future, don't we?
We do, and we're in charge of inventing the future. My favorite quote of all time is, the best way to predict the future is to invent it.
Well, Suzanne, it looks like we've come to the end of the night. It's been an incredible evening. I know we raised lots and lots of money for Camp to Belong, and this is just the beginning. We're going to be raising funds right up until June. Those foster children are going to have an incredible 6 days at Camp to Belong.
And the party continues tomorrow night at the Hard Rock Hotel, and we're going to raise more money tomorrow night as well. And we want to wish everyone a fabulous Happy New Year from the Wine Ladies.
Happy New Year, everyone, and a fantastic 2012. Cheers.
Gonna feel like hell tonight. Tears are raining on my heart. I'll be the last to ever understand. Are you strong enough to be my man? My man. Woo! Nothing's true, nothing's right. So let me belong to you. You can't change the way I am. Are you strong enough to be my man.